I was sitting on the porch, eating chips and looking at the night sky through binoculars. It was quiet, and suddenly, a sharp hiss. I got up, turned on the flashlight, and headed towards the garden. And at that moment, everything came together. For months, I was racking my brain. Why did the water bill suddenly double? After all, I strictly followed the HOA rules. No watering during the day. But Karen had a real botanical garden in her yard. Walking along the fence, I felt under the old bushes a plastic T cut into my garden hose. A green tube ran from it, straight into Karen's yard. I tore it off with fury and walked straight across her lawn. She was standing on the porch.
Are you crazy hanging around here in the middle of the night?
You're crazy, Karen. I showed her the T. You connected to my hose. You were stealing my water. She snorted and waved her hand.
Oh, come on. It's just water. Stop whining. I used it for the garden. You'll end up with dust and grass anyway.
That's stealing, Karen. I'm paying for it.
No one will believe you. I'm in charge here.
But let's take things one step at a time. My first suspicions had crept in at the beginning of summer, when I noticed that the pressure in the garden hose had become weaker, especially in the mornings. I attributed it to the drought and increased consumption in the area. However, a neighbor had mentioned that Karen had been bragging about a new irrigation system that cost nothing. Now it all came together. I needed proof, so I installed a GoPro camera, camouflaged it in the foliage, and waited. On the night from Thursday to Friday at 2:17, Karen emerged from the darkness in her signature work shorts and a t-shirt with the inscription Queen of Green.
What a lazy person.
She grumbled in the direction of my house.
You don't use it anyway.
I watched as she connected my hose to her drip irrigation system, pressed the button, and my water went to her flower beds. I watched as she connected my hose to her drip irrigation system, pressed the button, and my water went to her flower beds. The next day I prepared. I mixed vinegar, liquid soap, cornstarch for thickness, bright beet juice, a little blue food coloring, and glitter. The mixture turned out to be ominously festive. At 1:30 in the morning, I connected it all to the valve and began to wait. Karen, as scheduled, came out in an immaculate white coat with a cup of coffee in her hand. Without looking, she flicked the switch. A second, another, then a scream, deafening, full of hysteria. A viscous, poisonous pink stream burst from her hoses into the flower beds.
What the hell?
She screamed, yanking on the hose.
Who did this?
I walked out onto the porch, crossing my arms. Good morning, Karen. Looks like your system has malfunctioned. I hope you used your own water. She turned around. Her eyes were flashing.
You, bastard. You think you can do this? I'll sue you. I'll make you sing in a new way.
You stole my water, Karen, and I'm just tired of your tyranny.
I'm the president of the HOA, idiot. I can do whatever I want. I'm developing this neighborhood, and you're a pathetic loser with chips and binoculars.
No, Karen, you're a thief. She stamped her foot, tried to shout something, but stumbled and fell with a crash right into a puddle. Pink slime spread across her robe. I silently pulled out my phone and took a picture. In the morning, the photo quickly went viral on all the chat rooms in our neighborhood. It didn't take long for the HOA to react. Karen was immediately suspended with the wording, "for actions that undermine confidence in the governing body." A couple hours after the photo was published, the police arrived at the property. After a brief interview and a collation of complaints accumulated over the past months, the officer politely but firmly announced to Karen the imposition of an administrative fine and the obligation to pay me compensation for months of illegal use of water and resources paid for from my account.